And the other cool thing that's happened fairly recently was the release of Psychosomatic's new record, The Invisible Prison. So I had the honor of producing and engineering and mixing that record. And basically the way it went down is I packed up a ton of recording gear into a car and I drove all the way out to Sacramento, and we set up shop in their rehearsal space. And I basically built a little makeshift studio in their rehearsal room, and we did all the tracking for the record in that one tiny little room. The gnarliest thing about tracking that record was because we were in a rehearsal space that was shared by like 60 other bands and not in a real studio, is for tracking drums, you need to be able to capture all the nuances in between hits and stuff like that. And it's an acoustic instrument, so you need silence to track them properly without a bunch of bleed from other things coming into your drum mics. And when we were tracking the drums, we would sometimes have to wait for other bands to stop rehearsing. Sometimes we'd get a false alarm. We'd hear music stop and we like perk up, like, oh no, is it time to go? And then you hear 1, 2, 3, 4, bap, 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 and you hear them start playing again. Like, all right, I guess we're not recording right now. But I remember there was some days where we didn't hit record because of other bands rehearsing until like 2 a.m. There was one day of drum tracking where we came outside and the sun was up. It was like 8 a.m. We had just gotten done tracking the drums. And their drummer, Toby Swope, is a beast and a half. And he's currently playing in Skeleton Witch as well, which is also another great band, which I'm sure a lot of people listening to this will know. Tracking that Psychosomatic record was interesting, to say the least. There was plenty of nights where I didn't sleep at all. I just stayed up all night chopping away at mixing things or getting drum takes edited together so that the guitars could be tracked next. Stuff like that. I burnt the candle from both ends on that project while I was out there, but it was a really, really fun experience, even though it was, not ideal conditions for recording an album. I had a really good time working with those guys. I love the dudes in the band, and I love their music. They're one of my favorite bands. One of the most underrated thrash, punk, grind, death metal, skate, surf rock bands ever. They're a really, really cool band, and if you haven't listened to that Psychosomatic record yet, I suggest you go check it out because they wrote some really cool stuff. I just had the opportunity to help them create it, to put it out. Very honored to have been a part of it. Really great band, and I'm just stoked that they finally got another record out, and I hope that we can do another one in the future. Time will tell. Hey everybody, thanks a lot for checking this out. Make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. If you want to support the podcast, you can always go to riffsordie.com and pick up some merch. You can also go to patreon.com/riffsordie and subscribe to become a patron. Feel free to shoot me an email at podcast@riffsordie.com. All questions and comments are welcome. Thanks a lot for your support. Take care, everybody.